depends on what generation they are, but they'll all be wrapped in plastic. Unless you're keeping them ATV, boat, wherever, get them out of the plastic because they are terrible to try and tear that plastic apart. Depending on when you got them, some of them will come packaged like this. So when you open that, or they come packaged where they are already out, like this. So when you go to open it, you have to put it all together. Here's the easiest way to preload. Take your tourniquet. The new cats come like this. A little tab over, and then just like this. And the reason that is so that if you have to self-apply when you deploy it and you grab it, it's out. Because remember, you're self-applying, chances are you only have one arm, or if you're doing on the leg, you might only have one hand to do it. So you want to keep it like that so you get a turn and you're not messing around trying to lace it through with possibly only having one hand to do it. Okay?
Undo them. And they are packaged so that they are looped already through here for you. You just kind of have to open it up. Pretty done like that. Put your extremity through it. Can I use your arm here? These are made so that you can actually do this with one hand. You just kind of strap it down here. Strap it nice and tight. Sorry if that's too tight. You're going to wrap this around, and you have your little windlass here. This is what you're going to use to actually stop your bleeding. So make sure this is nice and tight and start cranking this around. Okay? I'm not actually going to crank it too hard on you, okay? So you're going to crank this until you actually stop your bleeding, or you crank it till you can't go any further. Okay? And once you have this cranked, get this out of the way here. You're going to actually, there's these two little hooks on the end here. You can actually push those right into place on either side, and those are going to stay. They're going to keep this windlass right here, right into place. All right, then you can go ahead and actually put this right around here, and you can actually put your little time bandage right here. Okay, now you want to make sure this windlass is actually cranked down far enough that you're going to stop your bleeding, or you're going to do it until you can't crank it anymore. This is where you're going to put your time. Remember to put your time on your tourniquet so you know when it was applied, or the receiving facility or your EMS is going to know when it's applied, depending on what level you are. Now, if you get this, is that too tight? If you get this applied and you still have bleeding, you can always apply your second one. Go a little bit higher than you have your first one applied. Remember, you're always going to be about 2 to 4 inches above your wound, and never apply it on an elbow, a knee, any kind of joint or anything like that. Okay? Okay? Pull it nice and snug. Now take this hand here and try to turn this. It's probably better if you turn it that way. Try to turn that with your hand. Yep. Either way, doesn't matter. Okay? And then try to slide it right into one of these. So you can see it's very easy to apply yourself. Okay? So if for any reason you had to apply a tourniquet to yourself, you can go ahead and do it with this cat tourniquet very simply with one hand. All right?
Bob, you get the Israeli here. Let's do that one.
Ooh, wait a minute.
If your friends are like, screaming at you.
That's how I put it out. Picture nature, you can do it white nature, you learn.
Close enough.
If you have to get a tourniquet and you don't want to do any more, grab a seat. We'll get you out of here. Please do not forget to fill out a slip.
Packaged like this when they come to you. Pretty simple. And you unfold them. They come out like this. The strap is already ran through the little eye right here. Made so that if you had to apply this tourniquet to yourself, it's pretty easy. You just kind of put the affected extremity through the loop here. Say if you had a wound here with uncontrolled bleeding, you kind of just with one hand strap that through real quick, tie it down as tight as you can, and wrap that around. You're gonna take this windlass here, this little stick, and you're gonna turn this as tight as you can until you can no longer turn it, or until the bleeding stops here. And when the bleeding stops, you can just push this little stick here straight up into this hook until it locks into place. Of course, this one won't lock into place. Delivered. That's of course, it does.
Like that.
Yeah. It'll lock right into place. Probably if I didn't have a big bulky shirt on, it would. Oh, God. Alright, so you can apply this by yourself. Probably if I didn't have a big bulky sweatshirt on. That's supposed to just lock right into place there. There we go. And you can just wrap this right around here.
You gotta take it off and do it on.
If you'd want. You take this little time stamp here, you lock that there, you can place your time and what time you place this tourniquet. Best thing to remember is that you want to put this 2 to 3 inches above where your wound is. Never on a joint, never on an elbow, a knee, or anything like that. If you have to apply a second tourniquet because your bleeding hasn't stopped, you put it right above your first tourniquet. So, if your tourniquet's here, your wound is here, bleeding hasn't stopped, you need to apply a second tourniquet. You're not going to go right here on the elbow, you're going to go straight up here. Never remove a tourniquet that's been placed. You're going to wait for EMS to arrive. If your wound is still bleeding after 2 tourniquets, you're always going to pack with some dressing or something like that as well, to make sure that your wound is covered, your wound is no longer bleeding.
Okay, ready? Katie's not. Okay, good. Tighter? Tighter? How can you tighter? No. Tighter. Oh, cool. Use your muscles. Ha. I was like, you're no longer bleeding. There you go. No, he got it. Yeah, now you got it. Oh. His looks nicer. I've already done 2. I'm good. Go ahead.
And a leg's not as easy.
He won't let me go to his leg.
Now do it to Katie. Katie's already going, this is tight, this is tight.
Oh yeah, like he pulled that really tight.
You're supposed to.
I didn't think he could do that tight without the thing.
You're supposed to.
I know that.
Look at the red mark you left on your arm.
Oh my gosh.
He's small enough, you might be able to get it over his shoes.
Yeah. Should be able to. Put this on a little bit. There you go. Right above your knee.
You were up there.
Listen, I pull up and his hand is bruised. Peeking around. Beautiful. Katie's like, she's like, yeah. Yes, I've already been. Don't worry.
Yeah, still younger than me.
Time. Okay. Both of them. Same time. With the sleep. Time.
5:30, I get home, get them out the door.
What?
Come the weekend, it's a little harder to transition.
Yes, I know.
There will not be any pants
In a real situation.
5 and 5.
Now try staying.